Welcome to the Beauties and Beasties podcast with Alex and Sean.
Hello.
Hello, mate. How the devil are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Do you know, we're a second or two early. I just wondered if we'd catch a couple of people out who'd be sitting watching. So yeah, I'm okay, mate. How are you?
Yeah, bearing up, keeping going.
And what's new?
What's new? Nothing work-wise. It's been reasonably quiet on the wasp front, but we've been reasonably busy. I can't really complain. You? What have you been up to? Are you allowed to mention them?
Evening, Freddie Williams. I don't. Yeah, bees are such a massive part of what we do, not just in business, but in my spare time as well. So yeah, we're doing all right. Here's an interesting thing. If anyone wants to comment, let us know if you'd be interested or not. Next year, I'm thinking of doing a series for my YouTube in which I try to produce a ton of honey with 20 colonies in a year. The process from the start of the season through to the end of the season. I think it would be interesting. Or it could be interesting because I'm not a very good beekeeper. I'm pretty poor at it, and I'll make lots of mistakes. So it'll probably be good for those who are very good, and some of maybe I don't know. But we've had a good season this season so far.
Well, you can be guaranteed that any mistake you make, you'll get annihilated on YouTube for, because everybody knows better.
I know, yeah, I know. And this is the thing. The thing is, I know that's difficult for some people to take, but with me, it doesn't make a difference. Like, I don't really care. Like, it is what it is. If you want to be a douche all your life, be a douche. If that's where you get your enjoyment, then feel free. So I'm thinking about doing that. What else have we done this week other than bees? Tell you what, we went to a colony today. It's in a care home, and it is nasty. On a scale of 10 in terms of aggression, I would say it's probably an 8.
What makes them aggressive then, do you think?
So most people will try and say to them, oh, it could be lots of things. They might be queenless, they might not be on a floor, there might be something which has upset them, and da 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 da. The truth is 99% of it's a genetic trait that's carried by the queen.
Right.
They might all have the odd off day. If you try and go into them early in the morning, late at night, and things like that, wind and stuff can make a difference. But if they're nasty, I don't mean if they're a little bit pokey. I mean if they're nasty, it'll be a genetic trait. Like, so yeah, if they want to fight you, that's exactly it. It'll be genetic. So we're going to do. We've got that to look at. We've had a couple drop in, which are quite big jobs. So they'll be good. I had Rob Simpson here.
Oh, did you get the call on Ficam Day?
Oh, so I've had. This is one of my. I didn't, but I think everyone knows better than to ring me about that. So this is what Hugh is alluding to. There was a phone call put out. I don't know if it was by Just Kill Jim or Kill Jim and other suppliers saying, buy any product, get a free tub of Ficam on it. So like, I'll have one deodorant, please, and you get a free tub of Ficam. And I think it was quite easy, wasn't it? It was either you get left holding a baby of something you can't sell and have to pay for disposal of, or we give it away for free.
And then we've got to pay to get rid of it. Well,
I think they're thinking
double bubble.
Yeah, well, yeah, but obviously we can use
just me being cool.
No, yeah, I don't like it. It's a real sticking point for me. a real major sticking point for me. Do not like it at all. Because the truth is, people aren't going to pay to get rid of it. What's going to happen is they're going to continue to use it. So, but my point was, say this is the worst wasp season and nobody kills any wasps this year. It just means they're going to sit on the Ficam for next year and use it then. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what's going to happen. We're pretty much out now and we're just going to leave it alone. Although I must say, I would think that there's a lot of people now are doing wasp nests, looking at them thinking, what the hell are we going to do with these once Ficam's gone?
Yeah, I don't know. I know every year people compare how many you've done and whatever, but I've never managed to actually keep a track of numbers. Every year you say to yourself, I'll keep a note this year, how many we've done. And you get to the first 20 and you just out the window. And I'm not quite good on tracking on the accounts exactly how many we've done from years ago. I can now, but not any longer. So I think we've done about 60 so far. I don't know how many other people have done, or not that it really matters.
Yeah, we wouldn't have touched that. Not even. Well, yeah, I'll tell you how many we've done because I can keep a track. So because I have a software system, let's have a look. Jobs. So I look for me wasp jobs. What's the date? 5th, 6th. Yeah, I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 we've done.
Yeah. Ficam, everyone. Somebody's ringing.
I know, I've just rejected it.
Oh. I spent some money this week.
Right, well, that is news in itself, so we'll have to come back to that. But no, actually, we always have used a lot of liquids on nests,
right?
Ground nests, nests that we can access if we can get to it. Literally, the only thing that we have ever used Ficam for is like a Ficam nest that you can't see, can't get to, have them going under the tiles. And, so yeah, I keep thinking about this acoustic imager, but they're about 16 grand. And I am loath to buy one if everyone's running around with 3 tubs of Ficam next year. I spoke to one of my other pals, he rang up and placed an order for about 800 quid or something like that, 900 quid. And I was at 1,200 quid. I can't remember what the order came in at. And they turned out and said, oh, yeah, you qualify for your 3 tubs of Ficam as well. He said, all right, how many is that? And I said, 7. He said, it's all right, I'm not bothered.
7.
7 Ficam. So I won't be looking at an acoustic image at any time in the future unless something changes.
That's 700 nests. About 100 a tub-ish.
Yeah, it's a lot, isn't it? So yeah, and I'm guessing that he wasn't the only one who qualified for 7 tubs of Ficam. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I personally believe behavior like that hurts your relationship with your customers. It doesn't increase, it doesn't promote it. I really don't think it's helpful. Let's put it this way: the phone call I got wasn't impressed at being offered 7 tubs of Ficam. That's a guarantee. Was not impressed, and neither was I. But interestingly, I was never offered any. So there you go. It is what it is. Tell us about spending your money then. Actually, have you told everyone about your new business venture or not?
Which one's that?
The containers, you knobhead.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yes, we did last week. Yes, we did. We talked about that last week.
Right.
So this week I have spent some money. First of all, I spent some real money on some of the new kill germ.
What's that?
Bug sense bed bug monitors.
Right.
These are
Go on.
reasonably new from Killgerm. Other suppliers are available. Although I think KG are the only ones doing these. We needed some bed bug monitors, and we thought these would look a little bit better than some rolled up corrugated cardboard, because probably couldn't justify flogging rolled up cardboard to some customers. They might want something that's a little bit more of a product. So we should be testing these. Apparently they say 100% detection within 24 hours.
Didn't Richard Naylor say that it was very difficult to
100%.
Didn't Richard Naylor say that it was very difficult to produce a scent that was anywhere close to the aggregate pheromone of bed bugs, though?
I think he did last week. I think he did.
Yeah.
So we're going to be giving those for use as a continuous monitoring solution for mapping the boundaries of an infestation and for confirming eradication after treatment.
Oh,
so
I've got something interesting to tell you.
Go on then.
You know how I hate insects? Well, I don't hate insects. Don't do a lot with them. I must be getting better at them, because I went to a restaurant that had failed a food hygiene audit off the back of a fly infestation. That asked us to go in, have a look at it, etc., etc. Went in, had a look, and realised massively that our thoughts on the situation were different to the system that was in place. Thoughts on a postcard. Place is suffering badly with a fly infestation. It is lessers, and the people who are looking at it at the moment believe that the infestation is flying in through the windows, causing the problem. I think, looking at it, that the fly infestation is from within. I believe it's a case of pulling out all the kitchen units and all that, and getting it into the grease and the syrups and all that sort of jazz. I know it's difficult to say, but also they believe, or they were under the impression, that the EFK was going to be the solution to the so Neil's asked the question, what kind of premises? Wet floors. It'll have tiled wet floors, which are washed, etc. So I can't go into it.
I can guess.
Don't. Yeah, you can guess. So for anybody watching this, I would love to tell you where it is, but it would be absolutely unfair for me to do that.
And you might get sued quite considerably. I take it they have a big solicitors company.
I don't know anything about that, and I won't find out. Yeah, so we've got that to look at. But interestingly, they were under the impression that the EFKs were there to catch all the flies and deal with the problem. And I was like, no, these are a monitor. And when we started looking at them, where they were, you could sort of see where the problem was coming from. So we had a chat about fly catch tray analysis, or fly sticky board analysis, we should probably say, shouldn't we? Now, they don't really do fly trays anymore, do we?
Sometimes.
Do you? You still do?
Depending on the situation, yeah.
So we're going to have a look at that, and we're going to see what we can do with it. So that's quite nice, because I find insects difficult to turn into real jobs, you know.
I don't know.
Exactly. Trend analysis. And the other thing as well is with trend analysis, if you do it regular enough, it's quite clear that you'll be able to see if what you are doing is having an effect rather than stick.
Little,
Not sorry, go on.
little bit less, a little bit harder with lesser housefly though, because lesser housefly aren't particularly attracted to ultraviolet light. So,
Well, yeah, but if you think of it, so this is my thought process, and tell us where I'm wrong. We always hear that the fly trend analysis, if done properly, should alert you to a problem occurring. The problem is going up. But if we go in and do different things, so say we get screens fitted to the open windows so that they can't come in, but the problem doesn't get any better, it actually gets worse. It would suggest that you're actually trapping them in. If we go and do a massive cleanup, and all of a sudden the problem drops off and comes 50%, then you know that that's what you're doing and you're making that marked improvement. So not only should it tell you that your problem is getting worse, but it should also hopefully tell you that your problem's getting better. Should it or should it not?
yes, yeah, in theory, yeah.
In theory, yeah. But as you said, lessers are pigs to deal with, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Talking about my spending, it's all Neil Bond's fault. This,
Good lad.
it's his fault because back along we were talking about sticky pads, the small cable tie sticky pads that you can buy, that you buy for tethering mouse boxes. Well, you can get them in Screwfix, but you can also get them on Temu.
Oh,
and
no.
you can now. I have mixed feelings about buying from Temu because the fact, we know they're Chinese, whatever, but that somebody else is just buying them from Temu, importing them, and then sticking their markup. You can buy probably 1,000 of the sticky pads for a £5, but you can also buy fly bags.
But are they going to be any good? Are they just going to be shit?
They are exactly the same
ingredients.
But I was just about to say this, but there is one problem.
What's that?
There's no ingredients on the inside. It's just a bag. It comes out as just a bag, and it says on the outside, this is how they've copied it exactly. It says ingredients are in the sachet inside the bag.
Right.
But they're not.
Right.
But they were £1.50 each.
Instead of like 12 quid.
But if you did, there is a use for them that I've just suddenly thought of, believe it or not. If you buy wasp lure, they're exactly the same as the wasp bags. You just need to put wasp lure inside them.
Yeah, but could you not do something yourself with like Bovril and gravy granules and a bit of water?
You probably could. Fish meal.
Fish meal, yeah.
Yeah. Ryan,
Ryan, are you as tight as your dad? Like, be honest with us, because I've never met anybody who doesn't spend money the way your dad. Every time I talk to him, he's like, "Oh yeah, but it's like £3.50, that isn't it?" And he proper gets. When he spent money, I ring him up and I can tell he's stressing. I can hear it in his voice, and I'm like, "What's happening?" He's like, "I've spent some money." Like, fucking so what? And he's like,
I have another Temu buy.
Oh, for fuck's sake, go on. Is that a cockroach trap?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did that have any lures in it?
No.
No, fuck's sake.
But again, they are exactly the same as a hoi hoi.
Yeah.
Same size.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah,
they have just add glue. It'll stop the glue. I tell you what, the glue is gluey.
Ryan, it's called investment, mate. I'm with you. You know,
But if there's German cockroaches there, you know they're going to walk over it anyway. So do you actually need an attractant?
Mate, listen, you're trying to see, like,
Do you know
yes,
how
you do.
they work? No, you don't.
You're a fucking professional. You shouldn't be putting traps down off Timu with no fucking bait in.
10 years of work for Rent-A-Kill. I never put the little curry tabs on the insect detectors. Never.
You didn't?
No. But how much do you reckon they work out at? As opposed to no, they are 25p each.
Right.
A lot cheaper than Hoi Hois if you just wanted lots of sticky insect detectors. Doesn't look very good, mind.
Are the ends open?
Yeah. You can fold them up.
No, you can fold the end up, right? I was gonna say.
Don't knock my Temu stuff. Got another one.
So there you go. You could put a hoi next to one of them and see what hoi with a bait in next to one of them, and like each and every other one, and see what happens.
Neil's got a roach job on this week. We'll try.
I thought you didn't get roach jobs down there.
Well, we never did, but we are starting to increasingly get them.
Why is that?
Most of them are being imported, should we say?
Yeah, you're getting a load of immigrants coming over from. Yeah.
I bought something else.
Oh, wow.
Nitrile rubber gloves.
What do you think of these bad boys?
Yeah.
Small.
How much were yours?
These are a sample which have been sent to try off a supplier. With the long cuff.
Yeah, but these are just for general one-off.
Yeah.
£6.90 for 100.
100 pairs or 100 gloves?
100 pairs.
Right.
So just for the one-offs, where you're just changing a bit of bait or something and you need a pair of gloves quickly and you're going to pull them off, then, and currently some pest control suppliers just certify their own products anyway. You can just pop a CE mark on it and it's perfectly all right. And I also bought.
Oh, wow. What the fuck is that?
Can you see?
No, what is it? Oh, a little mouse. Little silver
It's a little
mouse.
rat. It's a little rat.
A badge?
It's an earring.
Have you actually got an earring?
Not for a very long time. But I bought a pack.
Showing you Timu, innit?
I bought a pack of 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of rat earrings.
Why?
Because they were £1.25.
Mate. Oh, I get my my new drain hardware, computer hardware on Tuesday coming. That'll be interesting. We've got that coming.
But that cost a lot of money. I think my little haul cost me, I think it was about £10.50 in all.
I think mine was 7,400. I know, yeah, I know.
Oh, I'm feeling a bit faint.
Well, Hugh, though, this is the thing. Do you know how much it's actually going to cost us in the end?
No. Okay. Because it all went through, did it?
Yeah, it all got through. So we've got that through.
Good.
Did you know I'd moved house?
I did.
Yeah, so I've been spending some time on the house as well. So at the minute, this is where my life's at the minute. And no wonder I've aged considerably over the last however many years. I've obviously got kill line on the go with a couple of lads. I've got the bees at the heather now on their third heather crop, on their third honey crop of the season. And I think we're up to about, I think we're floating somewhere between the 40 and 60. I think around about the 55 colonies, but half of them are at the heather and half of them are in nukes back at the yard. I've obviously got the podcast on a Friday night. We've got Pest software, which is going pretty well. No complaints there. We've got a new girl in the office that we're trying to teach, get her to bring up the speed. If anyone's going to the MPTA Day at Durham, you'll meet her there. Great lady, sharp as a tack. And then I have a house that I'm doing up. It's got to come back to brickwork and floorboards, so I go back in my night and work on that. So I literally at the moment I haven't stopped. I just haven't stopped. Tomorrow I'm getting up at 5 to go and move some more bees up to the heather, because I think the heather crop's going to be good, and there's some which are ready to go. So they're going to go up there and start collecting, and then we are going to go where we're going to go after that. Oh, I've got the builder coming tomorrow night. We've got acro props in the ceiling, lifting joists and steels and stuff like that. So they're going to get lifted. Then we've got a load of noggins to put in between floors. We've got the kitchen to finish pulling out. And then the Sparky's coming. So it's all go at the minute. But I am just I'm starting to feel old. Like very old.
I know that feeling.
So yeah.
Yeah, I do. Well, tonight we're having this chat because we couldn't get a guest quick enough for tonight.
The thing is, I could have got a guest, but I just think it's quite nice sometimes not to have one and just.
What do people think?
I don't know. Truthfully, I don't care. I know it sounds terrible, but when you've got a guest on, there's always a bit of pressure on you to get the right questions in and all that. And I'm just so fucking tired at the minute. It's nice to be able to come on and just sit down and have a chat with you. And I know it might not be everyone's cup of tea, and you don't have to tune in for these ones, but it may be other people's. So, you know, I think on the whole, people not knocking in, it is quite difficult to get guests lined up. Not because we can't get the guests, but it's quite hard, communication, getting them lined up, explaining to people that, it's got to be 7 o'clock on a Friday night. And bless them all the guests that we've had, they all do it free of charge. They give up their time on a Friday night, or if they're with our American friends, whatever time they are around the world. So it does take a little bit of organizing. So just to have a quick chat is not a bad thing, really. But we do have some, well, I don't know whether to spill the beans or no, really. Just go for it. Yeah, go for it. So first of all, I want to say thank you very much to Hugh. So if anyone doesn't know who's watching it, Hugh is the producer who does all the organizing back scenes. So I'm not going to steal his thunder. Hugh's going to tell us what he's managed to organize, because I think it's fucking awesome.
Well, we've got to say thank you to Stuart Blair for the introductions.
Yeah.
So next week we have Scott Mulroney from America. From I can't remember the name of the company. That's done me, isn't it? It does a lot of dog work, which will be absolutely.
Let's get this right. That's all terriers and back lanes killing rats, isn't it? In huge numbers.
Yes. Yes.
Eco pest control or something.
I'm going to find it. I got to do it now because I feel guilty now, because we've done this off the top of the cuff. Unless
I can tell you what it is. We'll find it.
Can't find it now. Oh yeah,
Unique.
Unique.
Yeah.
Pest management.
Yeah.
And then the week after that, we've got Kate from Red Tractor.
Yeah. And I've spoke to Kate previously, and I think she'll be a great and interesting chat, and she's coming at just the right time as we start getting into those farm audits over the winter time, so she will be awesome.
Yeah, and then I'm just having a look at all. Hang on, you've disappeared. Where have you gone?
I'm here.
Where have you gone, mate? I've lost
Me?
you. No, my computer. I was trying to look at the computer. And then we've got the goat.
We've got one missing between that, because we've got Red Tractor on the 16th, then we've got who on the
23rd is empty at the moment, but I've got hopefully another lady from America.
Ooh. Yeah, tell them about that. Tell
Have
them
I frozen?
No, you're okay. Go on, keep going.
So we have, I'm not sure that she's going to be that week, but we have Neve Quinn, who is the Human Wildlife Interactions Advisor at South Coast Research, University of California, coming on at some stage. And
what
say again?
What has she been up to again? You told us earlier.
She's just finished microchipping rats to map their behaviour. So that should be pretty unique. Pest. Thank you, Billy.
It was said fucking 7 times.
Yeah. I just saw it. I was thinking of something else. And then we have Bobby Corrigan coming on.
Yeah, I've got Bobby on.
So that should be excellent. So out of those, there's some really special guests there that should be really interesting. So just for a week, guys, you're just gonna have to put up with me and Sean blathering away.
No, I think it's nice to have it feels chilled out, doesn't it? Which is nice, because there's always pressure on you to not to perform. I mean, it's like, so I really appreciate
So Fish for London, well, yes and no. So as I understand it, we get 1 CPD point per month per show for one of the shows. Are they capped? They haven't said they are capped, but most of the others are other subjects or other categories on CPD are capped. So you can only have so many points for magazines, so many points for podcasts, so many points for this and so many for that. But I don't think if you just bung in all the points, I think you'll be fine. But there are plenty of other opportunities for CPD. It doesn't have to just be, even just this alone. If you think by the time that you've got, and again, I know people, Andy probably, our American friends don't know about our CPD schemes over here. So for their benefit, we just say that there is a voluntary continual professional development schemes, or there are various ones where you get so many points you have to get so many points per year to be a member of that scheme. The most recognized ones are Basis Prompt and BPCA registered. Although there are plenty of other schemes.
Well, I'm going to say is watch this space. No, there isn't, but watch this space.
Yes. Well, not plenty of others. There are others. And that was let's go down that route first. And we have to get 20 points per year through various bits of learning to get up to the points that you need to be a member. So that's how CPD works over here in the UK. You don't have to do it, but it has been mooted that in the future, in not too distant future, you will need to be a member of a CPD scheme to be able to buy rodenticides. But then again, we did hear that it doesn't necessarily need to be a pest control scheme, because farmers will be allowed underneath their CPD schemes to gain CPD points in crop protection.
Tell you what else I did. I had Rich Falconer from Envu up here at the office.
Oh yeah,
Went
yeah.
with them across the road. Interesting bloke. So we were talking about the agricultural sector and rodenticides and etc. And I asked the question, and it was a very simple question: why do the manufacturers not just say to us, like, I'm the biggest complainer that the problems that we have come from the agricultural sector just throwing poisons around. And because the reality of it is we only have the products because of the agricultural sector. So they give us them, but they will take them away. Like, we are sort of, and he was like, yeah, it's not sort of true, you know. We had a big discussion about what is a building and what isn't a building, and what constitutes an authority. So my question was, and if anyone's listening to this, tell us what you think, because we did not come to a satisfactory conclusion between the three of us sitting around a table. What is a building house? Because it was like, is a mobile chicken shed a building? No, because it's mobile. What if it hasn't been moved for the last 25 years and there are no intentions of moving it at all? Yes, it's a building. What if it's just been put down 3 months ago, but there are no intentions of moving it? Well, yeah, it's a building. What if it was put down 4 months ago, but it's getting moved in a month's time? Well, now it's not a building. We're like, what? Like, and then I asked the question. So Neil Bonds asked, did they ever update that definition of what constitutes a building? I think that's what everyone's waiting on. They are going to tell us at some point, but at the moment they haven't, and it's going to come out.
Isn't this though? And I know everybody says they don't want a grey area, but isn't this where it is better to have a grey area?
Grey areas are never good.
But are they not? Because then if you have, I don't know, if you then go to court, you're going to have to put you would have the ability to be able to put your not point of view, but your case over. You know, it is a building because it hasn't moved for 25 years.
So here's the thing, right?
You could never.
You've no longer got. Go on.
Could you ever encompass in law every possible scenario that, as pest controllers, that we would deal with when we're putting down rodenticide? You know, is a garden shed a building? Is a summer house a building? Is a one of the lift-in pods a building? Are our containers buildings?
So this is my thoughts on it, and I don't understand why they made it so difficult. There is a lawful definition, a legal definition of a building in the UK. Subject 1, paragraph. Let's have a look. It says
just
a permanent structure built as a dwelling, shelter, or place for human activity or for storage.
Yeah, but that's not good enough.
What more do you need?
So I was just going to caveat it all for our friends in America. This is all about second generation anticoagulant use. in and around buildings and what actually constitutes a building. So if you were in America, say, and because a lot of their houses are made of wood and they don't have foundations, is that a building? It's not a permanent structure. Might have been there 200 years. Is a log cabin?
I just don't think it'll stand. So a log cabin is a building. There's no, but my
Whole issue. Porter cabin.
If you are transient in your nature, if you're a gypsy or whatever it is, you know, and you live a traveling fun fair, you know, you remember that you on the Hoppins or whatever it is, wherever you're going, you move from site to site. What this basically means now is if you have a mouse infestation, you're going to have to live with it, doesn't it?
You know my thoughts on it. You know,
I know. What I'm saying is, like, the whole issue that the people who are putting these rules in place would fucking shit their pants if someone turned around and went, "What? So it's racist, is it?" They would absolutely crap their pants, wouldn't they? So gypsies aren't allowed poison to get rid of the pests around their home the same way the settled people are. It will cause total uproar if they used us for pest control, but they don't. They're just going to buy it and chuck it around and deal with it themselves, aren't they? But you know what I mean? Well, like, this comes out, there'll be. Yeah.
I think I've said before, you know, we do schools that are porter cabins.
Yeah.
You know, that's not it's a permanent building. No, but you've got to. Well, everybody knows a porter cabin isn't a permanent building. It's not designed as a permanent building. Yeah. Quarter of a mile away is a school that's built by porter cabin with sections. Just stood.
I tell you what's going to happen, and this is why I don't like the grey area. The person who is putting it down will define it as a building, and the person who is competing for the work will say it is not. That's what will happen. Yeah, and that's where you're going to end up with, and it should be a lot more clear. But let's not dwell on it, because there was something else even more interesting to dwell on. The next question I had was, I said, why is it that we're not allowed to use bromadiolone and difenicum in open areas now? But if there was burrows in a hedge back, and they are destroying a cover crop, you're not allowed to burrow bait, but you've got burrow baiting on the label. So as Alex has previously said, yeah, but that's like the secondary thing. So you can only do that if it's in the open areas first. And I said, okay, I get that. And as pest controllers, we would probably look at that and see someone burrow baiting in a hedgerow and go, you're not allowed to do that. But then when it's got sewer baiting on the label, if there was Northumbria water filling a sewer out in a field somewhere with bait, because they were going to go into it and there was rats there and there was a human health risk to there, and we lifted up a manhole and there was a wire with some bait on it, a bag on it to kill the rats, we wouldn't have a problem with that. But really, we shouldn't we? Because it'd be like, oh no, it's got sewer baiting on, but the other one had burrow baiting on. So at what point do we say one is a yes and one is a no, because they should be dealt with together? Didn't get to a satisfactory solution on that either. Who knows? But again, you'll get someone picking it up going, yeah, you're allowed to burrow bait, it says sewer bait, and then someone else who goes, no, you can't because it's not close enough and the problem hasn't been linked to this and da. It's got to be easier than that. It's got to, hasn't it? Can't be that difficult, can it? If it's sewer baiting, it's sewer baiting. Whether you put it in 3 miles up the road or 3 miles down the road, it's in the same place and it's the same risk.
So when you've got a burrow then that's coming off of the sewer,
exactly,
in an open area,
yeah.
But that's what I mean. Yeah. How can you can't on the same hand you can't necessarily there has to be a grey area, doesn't there? Because you can't necessarily legislate or put a definition on every single possible scenario. Some amount of leeway and common sense has to be taken into consideration. You know, you've carried out your risk assessment, you've written it down, you've carried out your environmental assessment. Because let's face it, all of these things were always supposed to stop the secondary poisoning of birds of prey. That's what it was all about. And it seems to have, and they haven't. And it seems to have it seems to have absolutely snowballed from there. You know, it really seems to have snowballed out of control and lost the actual. To me, it seemed to have lost the ethos of what Crew was essentially. I mean, we haven't asked actually the new chairman of Crew on yet, so that might be the next challenge to guest to ask. Come on.
Oh, something else to talk about as well. I was debating getting a table or sitting on a table at Pest Tech. Would anybody be interested in that? Because I don't know whether we're going to have to sort of beg, borrow, and steal a seat at a table somewhere. I think there's 2 of us at the minute, possibly 3 of us. But when you look and you think it's a table of 10, it would be nice to have a non-sort of corporate table there. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're all corporate tables. Wouldn't it be nice for it to open up to non-corporate people and us grab a table? And I understand it. Some people will say it's a bit expensive and what have you. I think it's about 170, 180 quid a ticket. But I think it's worth, you fucking hell, you'll not be going. Ryan might, you won't. And you can't buy tickets on Temu for it either, you fucker. So you'll not be getting them. So yeah, I don't know. I was thinking if we had to do it corporate, I could maybe get a table under Pest software. But what I don't want to do is be left holding a baby with people last minute going like, oh, I can't make it and all that sort of shit. I need definites. If anybody wants to go, then I would probably definitely consider putting a table on and going down there.
What do people do if they're interested then?
I was going to say send us an email, but I won't reply to it. Give us a
no, you won't.
Give us a WhatsApp. Beer table. Yeah, exactly. But Billy, is that you suggesting that you and Stuart want to come down? Come on, Billy. Yeah. I just think it would be nice because if anyone hasn't been to the what's it called again, the PMA dinner afterwards, it's a really good night. Don't stop too late. You know, it's like Cinderella, except for you be in bed before 2, because it all seems to go wrong after 2.
But do people start fighting?
Oh, last year, there was someone headbutted, punched, like all sorts. Like, it got a bit fruity, didn't it? Yeah, I can't even remember what it was over now, but I think if I remember rightly, someone got headbutted.
Yeah.
Somebody
got their feet cut with the wine glass or something, wasn't it? And
it was brutal. Yeah.
All hell let loose. You know, us pest controllers were quite civil sort of people, really.
Yeah, well, I've been 3 years in a row, and I just think if I'm going all the way down there, I don't want to come home early. I think it's part of the experience of Pest Tech if you haven't been. So get yourself if you want to jump. Yeah, right. So there's 5 of us already. I'm already up to 5. Would you do it, Hugh, or would your feet not be up to it?
No, I don't think I'd be up to it, mate.
Would Ryan do it?
Ryan?
He's not doing it, is he? Not bad. Yeah, not bad. Not bad, Ryan. Fucking hell, Ryan. Where would we be if we let Ryan run the show, eh?
Wouldn't be a show here. We'll be late.
Yeah, be late, yeah.
Sorry, son. No.
I would ask Neil, but I know Neil's definitely not going to come, is he?
Doubt it.
No, I don't think my lads would either, to be fair.
It's a long way, isn't it? Bristol. Not Bristol, London. Past Bristol, isn't it?
Mate, that's the thing. You've got to jump on the train and go down.
Train?
It's just a great.
How'd you get a train?
Yeah. So if anyone does want to come, Too Busy Timu shopping, let us know, and we'll see if we can organise it. But if you're coming on my table, I need your tickets paid straight away, and there's no backing out. There's no like 2 weeks, like, can I get my money back because I've not been left holding a baby. So if anyone does want to come, I'll certainly put a table together, if we can get one. Obviously, they didn't let Pest fix it, so they might not let me in either.
I shan't say what Ryan's just sent me a message saying.
What does it say? Say it. Read it out.
You lot chat some shit.
Yeah. Well, Ryan, this is the way it goes, isn't it?
He calls it Old Man's Club.
Yeah, but we were talking about this though, weren't we? Like, it might be Old Man's Club, and it might be boring to some, but the information sharing that comes as a result of it. Like, do you mind me talking about the grant shit?
No.
I didn't think so. So I managed to find a grant. It was called the Rural Prosperity Fund in England, and I applied for it and got it. Told the lads. Hugh applied for it, got it. He's ended up using it to buy half his containers, which has now turned into a little sideline business where other pest controllers, farmers will use it for training purposes, etc. on the site. We've had some good introductions. Dale. That's good news. Dale is absolutely starting to get on with these bird of prey things. He's sending us videos now of it flying around, dropping off roofs onto his glove and all this sort of jazz. So we went and had a look at a job that would be a relatively big job. It's on a school. I don't know if they're going to be able to afford it, to stick it, because there's quite a bit of work to be done on it. But yeah, like, you've got Billy there, who's bird of prey stuff. We've had Sarah, who was a previous guest. Dale went up and spent 3 or 4 days with Sarah, watching her work her birds of prey and dealing with her birds of prey. Like, Billy's there for him. There's all sorts of people. So it's easy to say it's Old Man's Club, but for us, just that information sharing is a brilliant place to be when you are sitting on your own.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, the whole internet thing, I think we've said this before, has opened so much up, because it used to be quite a lonely place being self-employed. Who could you turn to? Who could you ask? I just need a second opinion on this insect or something like that. And there are so many people out there that are so knowledgeable. It's good just to be able to just text somebody or WhatsApp them or put it on Facebook. And without Old Man's Club, to a certain extent, there's a lot of knowledge out there that's not, I would say, free knowledge out there, which is invaluable, really. So I like Old Man's Club because I am an old man now.
And this is the thing. Like, you stand there and then someone says, "Do you know what it is? I'll come on your table," and you're like, "All right," and you're down there, and the next thing he goes, "Oh, we've got a contract up there. It's quite a big contract." Billy comes down and someone goes, "Oh, you do bird of prey work up there," and all of a sudden, that's how things move, isn't it? And it's like, "Oh yeah, we can do this, da. We've got this opportunity," or and things move on. You've got to keep pushing on, don't you? That's a reality. You've got to keep pushing on. Or I think you do, anyways. So Ryan, shut up with your Old Man's Club. We're not interested. We're not interested.
You'll be old one day, son. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
People are like, now and again when they phone up, they say, "Is that Ryan?" I'm like, "No, it's Hugh." "Oh, you sound so much alike, you two." I'm like,
I thought you were going to say, "We thought you were dead."
Well,
see that see you. We thought you were dead. You still alive?
We got one. There is one customer that's like, "Oh, I knew your dad." To me, I'm like, no, I am the dad. And next time Ryan goes, they say to him something like, "Oh, how's your granddad?" I'm like, no, I'm his dad, not his granddad. Yeah, but yeah, because
didn't he?
Say again.
Ryan got married not long ago.
He did. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's a good event.
whatever Ryan wants to say about us in Old Man's Club, like, we haven't been that silly, have we? So your opinion counts for nothing, Ryan. You've just encouraged the enemy, haven't you? Huh?
The enemy.
The enemy.
So I hear there's a new venture on the on pest control company starting up on the prowl called the Pest Partnership.
What the fuck is that then?
It's a new company that started up that is on the prowl for businesses looking to buy them and to partner with other pest control companies to be a, I wouldn't say global force in pest control, but a nationwide force in pest control.
Right.
I noticed it pop up on, I think it was on LinkedIn. Some ex-Rentokil guys, ex-Ecolab, ex-Orkin, and they've got the backing of some quite big Swedish investors, I want to say. So that may be something on the horizon.
Right.
Rentokil shares are up.
How much?
They did drop back a bit, and they're now on the up because talking something in America going on in America with Rentokil.
I don't know.
Yes, Clive, that's correct.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be something that we would look at. I'm okay dodging along on my own at the minute.
So the only reason I know about the Rentokil shares is because when I worked for Rentokil, used to have share options.
Right.
So each year you could either you get an amount, you could either take the amount in shares or you could take it in money. And you would always get more shares than you would money.
Tell you what I would say. Yeah, this is interesting. You like this. Do you buy shares now at all or not?
No.
Nothing. If anybody is interested in it or thought about it or is going to do it, I got recommended a book and I've listened to it on Audible about 8 times, and I'll listen to it again because every time I listen, I'll pick something else up. It's called The Psychology of Money. Now, it sounds like it would be like about money, and it kind of is, but it's a lot to do with our mindset towards it. And they talk a lot about risk and reward and people being all sorts of different things, but the lessons are always in terms of investing. I would highly recommend it as a book to anybody. It's a real fucking good book. If you want one, The Psychology of Money, feel free to go and get it. And if you do get it, send us a message and let us know what you think of it. It's not difficult reading. It's quite a big book, but it's not difficult reading, and it's very, very interesting. Fella that owned BT wants to buy Rentokil and float them on the US stock market. Are they not on the US stock market already, Rentokil?
Isn't it Rentokil Ulrich or something? Rentokil Ulrich over there? Ulrich? Slightly different company name rather than Rentokil Initial. Not sure. Not sure of that one.
I don't know how it works, but yeah, so yeah, for anybody wanting to do that, that's a great place. And then you ever heard of a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad?
Yeah, you told me about that one.
Every boy and girl should be made to read it at the point of making their career decisions. You know, like before you're allowed to decide what you want to do in life, you should be made to read that book once, you know, be given a copy of it so that you can revisit it at a later date, and you should have to fucking read it. It's that good, you know. Yeah, I promise you, it's brilliant. It's absolutely awesome.
So you didn't think much of my cockroach houses then?
The shit.
You're still going to buy Hoi Hois?
Yeah, absolutely. Here's a question for you. Would you, knowing what you know, allow a pest control technician to come in and pay them the right money for a job and watch them put them down in your house?
How does that look any different than a Hoi Hoi?
No. Listen, what the question wasn't that. The question was knowing what you know. Say like you sell your pest control company, you end up with a cockroach infestation, and you think, oh, I'm not even doing it myself, I can't be bothered. And you get someone in and he charges you the right money that you would have, but he produces those traps and he puts them down. You would march him out of your business as fast as you could.
I've used EFK pads before.
I'm not saying that isn't the thing. What I'm saying to you is, if you were stood there knowing what you know, would you allow a technician to come in and pay good money and watch him put down traps off Temu?
They do look a bit shit.
I
mean, they do, don't they? Look,
yeah.
I don't know if you can see it.
No, that looks shit, yeah. Oh, is that a little animal rolled over?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's horrendous, you. That's horrendous.
I didn't know that before I bought them.
Yeah,
they were.
It was
it was £3.74. It was worth a try, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was worth a try. There was a guy who was a farrier, a very good farrier with a brilliant business, and he used to say to me all the time, "Work up to a standard, not down to a price." You know. Hugh, was you working for Rent a Kill Scotland before RO? What is ROFL?
Roll on floor laughing.
Oh, Rent a Kill Scotland. Right, sorry, roll on floor laughing. I'm not that dude. Yeah, looks much more inviting than Hoys.
Doesn't it? Look lovely, isn't it? Look at that. They got nice little cards.
I tell you the other thing as well that I worry about with stuff like that. If you give them to your technicians and you send them out, your technician knows they're putting down like cheap stuff, and it just breeds contempt, doesn't it? So my advice is throw them in the bin.
Oh, you've actually looked at a Hoy recently?
Yeah, I use them all the time. We do quite a few cockroach traps, don't we?
You know, and it says wipe your, like Neil says, put your little doormat down here and wipe your feet. How can you compare that? The difference, put your little doormat down. Do you always use the floor mats, Neil?
We do. We use them. I think.
What, the little floor mats?
Yeah, I was under the impression that those mats were to increase cockroaches going in.
What, so they can grip their little feet on them?
Or
wipe their little salmonella?
Yeah, do you know my only issue with Hoys is that they are the same.
Tacky.
Like there should be a definite upside and a downside, so that you don't writing arrows on them pointing up and down, they get moved around and all that sort of shit. It should be a lot more visual. This side to the wall, this side out. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I would say. That's the only thing I would do.
Can't you do you think someone's are they patented Hoys?
I don't know. Cockroach can't unhook to walk backwards. Interesting. Cats can't walk backwards either, can they?
Can they not?
Don't think so.
But I was going to say something now. No. I'm surprised somebody hasn't come up with like branding your own Hoys.
That would be a hell of a fucking thing if you could get them printed up.
Yeah, in your colour with your name on the top.
Yeah.
Because I see more discreet black ones that look more professional. Yeah, even the I mean, I got to admit, I mean, I'm taking the piss a little bit, but they are horrendous. That is horrendous. But Hoys aren't a great deal better. If they, like for you, if they were green with kill line on the top, that would look a million times better.
I would pay a lot more for that trap branded up with my business name on than I would for a standard Hoy.
I mean, they can't be patented, can they? A freaking sticky board, a cockroach? No, can't be. So. Oh no, they can't be, because you can buy them from Bauer. You can buy cockroach traps from Bauer.
Right.
I saw that. Say again. They're like Hoi Hois, but they're just plain white.
Oh, hang on. Interesting.
Anyone have any random questions while we're rabbiting away?
Anything you just want to bring up? Do you know, I quite like this. I like this chilled out, relaxed thing. It's just, for anyone who hasn't done a podcast, to do it live every week with a guest every week, and especially because I tend to say things that come into my head and straight out my mouth, you know, that some people don't like. In fact, a lot of people don't like it.
I think the other thing, of course, is people don't. It's not scripted at all. We don't even have a question written down.
No, and this is what I like about it. But it stopped. The truth is, it stopped firms coming on it because they can't control it.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
I can answer that.
Do that one then.
Freddie asks a question: why don't gel baits typically work at this time of year for ants? They kind of do. Gel baits obviously work by the ants feeding on them, and then the process of trophallaxis within the nest, where they feed it into the nest. The problem that you have is that at this time of year, you end up with large chambers filled with flying ants, drones, and queens. And they are not interested in feeding. They are up to size. Their job is to go out and mate. So they are waiting for the right conditions. And when the right conditions come, out they come, off they go. So they are not completing the process of trophallaxis within the nest. You are trying to knock down numbers massively. But they do work on the small foraging ants that will still forage, but they just don't work for your bigger drones and queens. Dale has been reading up on ants, and I've got two questions for you. The first one is, when the queens take to the wing to perform their nuptial flight, what are they referred to as?
Alates. Alates?
Princesses.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the next thing is, when they drop to the floor, how do they get the wings off?
They bite them off.
They chew them off. Yeah. And how long do you think a queen ant can live for?
A considerable amount of years. I think it's up to like 8 years, isn't it? Something ridiculous, isn't it? It's more, is it? I know it's some ridiculous amount of time.
Yeah. 35
years.
Yeah. So no wonder we struggle with them a little bit. Tell you what we're going to do. We're rapidly looking at it now. Doing nematode treatments is standard for them.
Right.
I think we are going to have far better results doing that on the grass areas and the soil areas outside, and completing a gel bait treatment within the house, and potentially outside as well. I think that'll be a really good place to start. I don't think we're doing enough with nematodes for ants. I've used them a few times. You ever had it where they've been around the manhole cover?
Would you not need a PA1 for that? No, because you're putting it on with a watering can. Would you not?
Chemical. It's not a chemical.
Okay.
It's not a chemical.
So, no, that was something strange. Going back to the free Ficam, I was going to buy some weed killer, but I can't buy it because I don't have a PA1.
So we've just looked at a job actually. It came in as a little contract for rats and mice around a van, like repair centre type thing. And he come to see us and said, but we do have a load of stuff that need clearing. So I looked at it, and there's actually a lot of work in the clearing of the boundary of this premises. And he said, we're just losing loads of space where the brambles are encroaching and da da da. So I was like, do you know what it is? We could do this. And one of my good friends has his PA1, PA6, and is happy to come and work for us. So I'm thinking, do you know what it is? I think it's probably, we don't want to become a gardening service, but I think when you look at habitat management, it's definitely a good upsell. Definitely. So we're probably gonna look at that and offer James the chance to do weekend work for us, doing the PA1, PA6 stuff. I think I was certainly going to offer it, and I think we'll probably get it accepted as well. We'll go in at a very, very sensible price to feel our way into it and see how it goes and what work's involved. But when you think about it, you're going to need a skip to get rid of it. You're going to need stuff for chopping up your brambles, for putting it in, da da da. I think it's going to be a decent little thing. So we're definitely going to look at that. Neil Bond, I'm convinced that ants hatch from eggs in the subsequent season, especially if treated late in the year. I would not be unsurprised if that was the case. But I'll tell you who the man to answer that question is Francis.
Yeah.
Definitely. Francis is the man to ask for that.
Rupert asked about the, that one. The little hoi mats. Some people use them and some people don't. They do take a bit of messing around, sticking them on if you've got 100 hois to put on. And I'm not wholly convinced that they're necessary, but I don't even know how you would tell if they are or no, really.
I think it's easy. You just do the same thing. You put them on every other trap and see what difference it makes. You've
paid for them. They've supplied them. You put them on.
That's my thought process. Do you know what I mean?
They would.
That is my process.
Yeah. So definitely.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anyone?
No.
Bits and bobs?
We do a lot of cockroach jobs. We do an awful lot of cockroach jobs. And I enjoy them. They're one of the insects that I enjoy, because you can't not make money off them. Like, I don't want to sound like a mercenary when I say that, but a lot of insect jobs, it's remove the source and the problem goes away, doesn't it?
We've just quoted for one, and surprisingly, another company have quoted for a spray treatment. One spray treatment of 1,500, which did seem a little bit over the top to me, because it was a restaurant, and quite wet restaurant as well, with an upturned floor, like a proper industrial flooring. So I'm a little bit I don't think that's any spray treatment there's going to last more than about 12 hours, to be honest. That most of the insects are living within the equipment that's there, the fridges and the dishwashers. So I don't think that's going to be the thing. So we'll see if we get that.
You will do, yeah. What else? Oh, we've done one for a local council bedbug job, and they have here's an interesting one for you. They have a supplier in place, and the supplier has given them a list of things to do prior to the technicians arriving to do the bedbug treatment. One of the things that they said was, and I know we all do it different, so I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just asking general questions, so don't be a knob if you are involved with this company. I'm just genuinely asking. It said, if you have any clothes which you feel like they've been infested with bed bugs, spread them out around the house, like spread them out on the bed before we arrive.
Why?
Fuck knows. I haven't, to be fair, mate, and caveat this with, I haven't actually seen the actual thing. This is what I was told by the person who read it, because this is what's caused some of the problems. He said that they got this thing, they've spread the clothes around the whole house. The technicians have walked in and went, it's too cluttered to do that, we're not doing that. Walked out. So they rang us and said, we are struggling with this. And I was like, well, that's not what we would do. We tell you, rightly or wrongly, we would tell you to double bag it, tie them down tight, and we'll come in, we'll do a first treatment, and then wash all your clothes out those double bags on a high heat.
Yeah. We use one of the American ones. It's like a comic, instructions, and it gives you every instruction, and it's not only just a list, it's actually a cartoon comic, so it's pretty simple to use. That's quite good.
Right. Yeah, we've got it on our system written up, so I just hit a button and it sends
Oh,
it
okay.
to them.
Yeah. Poof.
You know, like, I have that. Yeah, have that. It's quite funny though, because Alice turned up to one the other day to do one, and he walked in, he said none of the prep work was done, and he went, did Sean not send you the thing? And she looked and went, yeah, we just haven't done it. Oh, fucking hell, like, you paid a lot of money to get this done, like, why would you just
not
do it? Yeah, like,
Yeah.
why would you not do it? Yeah, but they haven't, so there you go. So I've got that. But yeah, I think we're about done for the night.
Yeah.
Right,
You're on the last 15 minutes, so
yeah, please apologise for my me being rubbish.
yeah.
I am.
Have you?
Yeah.
There we go then. Have you enjoyed your time on the podcast?
Do you know, I do enjoy doing the podcasts, and I learn a lot through listening to people. I learn a lot. I've learned a lot behind the scenes about people's behaviour. Not bad or good, but I learn a lot when you know, I've never hid from this. It's one of my bugbears when after a podcast's finished, someone will go, now I can tell you what I really think, and I'm pretty straight talking, so it's like that's annoying.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's there to listen to what you had to say. You know, like, you should have told them, not me. It's pointless telling me afterwards. Like, what's the fucking point in being here? That's why I'm not as keen. It's not that I'm not as keen on guests now. I'm not keen to have shit guests on who aren't going to tell us the truth. I would rather they didn't come on. You know, I think you've got to be able to ask them questions. So I've learned a lot about the politics of stuff. And why I will never, ever, ever be asked to be on the board of anything ever in a month of Sundays. I will never be asked to be on a committee. I will never be asked to be a member of a working group or anything like that, ever. So yeah, I do enjoy it. I learn a lot in terms of pest control and in terms of people. And I learn a lot about myself as well. You know, so yeah, I enjoy it.
Good. What's the next question? Give us a shameless plug.
Obviously, Pest software, in it. We've been producing more and more stuff. We have something which we hope will be a bit of a game changer in the near future for everybody who is on it, like a proper game changer. If we can pull it off, we're working hard on it behind the scenes, like really hard on it behind the scenes. Really want it to work. So I don't know when it'll come out, so I can't tell you when or if it'll even be successful, but we are really fucking trying in this one particular area. We are going to Pest Tech in November. We have a stand there, so if anybody wants to come down and see us, then feel free. whether it's about the podcast or whether it's about the software, whatever, you just want to have a chat, come say hello. Let us know what you'd like on the stand. Do you want coffee? Do you want sweets? Do you want whatever? Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll take my little Tassimo down and give everyone a free coffee. It's a good idea, isn't it?
Could be worse, yeah. Yeah.
Tassimo's nice, isn't it? Yeah.
Right.
So Neil, the thing works without the internet. We have thought about that and looked at it. The problem that we have is the build is so large for such a small percentage, but it is a thought process. DJL Pest Solutions, are you giving out hoodies? If you tell me the sizes that you want, then yes. We'll probably do t-shirts. I'll probably do t-shirts or something like that. But there is one stipulation. If I give you one on the day, I do expect you to wear it. No putting it in your bag and taking it home, because that doesn't promote your business at all. So if I give you one on the day, come see us early. Tell us what size it is. I'll even try and get your names put on them. That'll be really good. And I'll more than happily give you a hoodie, t-shirt, whatever it is you want, as long as you wear it on the day. Yeah, I will happily do that for you.
And last question is, who would you like to see on the podcast?
So I really, really, really can't explain how much I want to do this. I want to do a podcast on the EDI, this have to hire women, gays, ethnic minorities, etc. This balancing up thing. The problem that we have is that I have no filter, and it's quite a sensitive subject. So we need someone who can have a really robust conversation about it without getting upset, without feeling like they're under attack. I thought Scott Johnson would be a really good one. And if him and Alex done it, maybe it wouldn't be like we were picking on him, because Alex would definitely go down the other route, so it would be 2 against 1. But I have some really interesting questions, I think, and thought processes that I would love to come. I would love to ask someone who was in the know. Do you know what I mean? Like where they stand on it, why we're doing it, and what we're going to get out of it, and how we're going to get there, and what's the problem we've got at the minute, and all that sort of jazz. But it would appear that everybody who is in the EDI world, when you suggest that that's the format, all of a sudden shit their pants and don't want to come on anymore. So if we have someone, that would be really, really good.
That's it.
Yeah. It's been a good one. It's been emotional.
We're done. Been emotional.
Yeah. Got to drive home now. Why do you always put a background on?
Why?
Yeah.
Because the background here is shit. It's just a cupboard and a window.
Take it off.
Hey?
Take your background.
I can't.
Take your background.
I can't. I got a great big green screen behind me.
Right. Right. Fair enough.
Why don't you like this one?
I don't like backgrounds. I think they're poor.
You think they're poor?
Well, I think that people that shit.
My library.
Yeah. I personally think he's Temu Kitchen. Yeah. I think that people need to get to know you, and I think part of it is understanding what's behind you and where you are. That's my gut feeling, but I don't like backgrounds. All right, in one little bit.
There you go. You can just see the top of. Oh no, you can't. There's nothing there.
Take your screen down. Show us what you got. Yeah, see, I like that. I like that. Yeah,
It's just
get up.
It's just the office.
Yeah, but I want to see your office. I want to know what makes you tick. So I think you should take it down.
It's just a boring. It's just a boring. Just a boring office. Big cupboard. Nothing to it really.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just that it doesn't distract. That's all.
Yeah. So
Right.
I'm going to drive home. We're going to have something to eat. I'm going to have a shower. Then we're going to do some more work on the house.
Have fun.
The neighbours aren't happy, but there you go.
No problem. Right. What's that?
Right. God
We'll
bless.
be in a pub. All right, mate. Catch you soon.
God bless. See you soon.
Yeah, your turn.
Thank you for listening to the Beauties and Beasties podcast.